you know, we're so busy looking at other countries sometimes we think, you know, there's apartheid, some distant thing, that when we divide people up and we treat them differently and we create pass laws and we make them show us their papers, why that could only happen in South Africa or in Arizona. And we're very lucky. I want to work down our panel here. We're going to move some topics in that, but I want to bring, because I love this juxtaposition. John Conyers is sitting next to a young man. Someday, when he's your age, they'll talk about him the way they talk about you. Because Randy Parraz, yeah, it's serious. This is everybody. Most people here know Randy, but Randy Parraz has been a rights activist. Some people say immigration rights activist. I don't think that's the right way to do it. He has been a rights activist in Arizona. He has gone into one of the toughest states in the country, and he has fought again and again and again on issue after issue, and in a place where they said it couldn't be done. And one of the things that people should know about Randy is this. And one of the most successful nights in American politics, aside from November 6, 2012 for progressives, was the November voting day in 2011, when Ohio voters rejected an attack on labor rights, when Mississippi voters protected a woman's right to choose, when Maine voters Mississippi, and when Maine voters protected your right to vote. But the most fascinating news of that election night came out of Arizona, where we heard that Russell Pearce, the guy who had backed Arizona's brutal anti-immigrant law, had been recalled and removed from office. And ladies and gentlemen, the man who organized that effort is Randy Parraz.
I'm an organizer, right? And as hard as an organizer, keep me strapped in the seat so I can't speak.
Stand up.
So I'm going to stand up.
Absolutely.
We're going to get the message out. So I want to thank you all for being here. Reverend Jackson was just here. I don't know if he understands how his example, what he's done over the years, has inspired someone like me. I remember 25 years ago when I was an undergrad at Berkeley, right? I was told we're having a special speaker come, it's a presidential race. We need a security team. And back then, the security just made a group of students, a rope, and Jesse Jackson arrived, and I was part of the security team there. So I was very honored to be part of him. Part of that process is seeing him there. And did I know 25 years later I'd be here listening to him again. This time
I think just get a sandwich, man. He'll be back to hear the story.
Okay, good. So just an amazing time. And we used to almost try to imitate him in the speeches, right? We talk about, workers, hospital workers, they want to work every day, and janitors cleaning toilets every day, and hotel workers working every day. We just get so inspired, like, I am somebody. His message, right, would come across. And so great to have someone like that, here being in the room inspires me, right? Inspires all of us. I want to thank Tim Carpenter for your leadership and bringing this thing together. John Nichols for doing the writing about the stories and not your fight with your voice. I want to thank Arizona, PDA, Dan, O'Neill, Virginia Hoffman for the work that they did. I think Barstow as well. I mean, they helped get this thing started because no one wanted to get behind initially this recall of Russell Pearce at that time. Right? This was a man who had a veto-proof majority, the author of SB 1070, the one who used that to help get General Jan Brewer elected to become governor. He was one of the most powerful politicians in the state, self-proclaimed Tea Party president. Right? And a group of people came together and said, no, not under our watch. And so we came together. And so we started putting the vision together, right? What would that take? And people, ordinary people without the position and the titles and money said, you know what? Give me that thing. I'll walk door to door, right? We started talking to folks, having a conversation. And we found out early on, we started knocking on the doors and saying, how do you feel? This is this district now. I've been there for over 10 years, elected over 16 times. How do you feel about Russell Pearce being president of the Senate? You know what almost 2 out of 3 people said to us? Who is Russell Pearce? Because everyone says, oh, he's a national figure, oh, boy, Arizona. Who is Russell Pearce? We got to define that from how he's extreme, not just on immigration, but on health care, on education, on guns, and all those things, on cutting off funding for people waiting to receive a donor transplant, right? Those are the things that it was about. And so now we're in Arizona. We're thinking, what's the next thing, right? We just had a sheriff get reelected. You guys heard about that guy, Sheriff Arpaio?
But you have been messing with him.
Yes, yeah. We started messing with him in 08, and then he messed with me and put me in jail, got me arrested because we were talking against what he was doing. Right? Talking about uninvestigated sex crimes of women and children reported sex crimes, no investigation followed. Because why? He was putting deputies to go chase bands. Deputies to go raid different work sites to attack immigrants and Latinos, to stopping people from profiling them, right? That doesn't happen in Detroit. That happens all across the country. It happens in Arizona, right? So finally we put a campaign together. And we would have tried to recall him last year, but it was already election year. So we put everything together, and we started doing the work, and doing the door knocking, and getting people out. And check this out. He went out, and he raised $8.6 million nationwide over the last 4 years, right? Under this whole banner of hate and division and family intolerance, right? And so what we did, though, is we continued that. Guess how much he spent? $8.2 million. And guess how much of the vote he got? 50.7%. That close, right? And so all I can tell you about in terms of the vision where we're going next, we're not going to stop, because all those reasons why we're trying to do them, they still exist. All those people who've been unjustly arrested and harassed and intimidated, that still happened. All the over $100 million of misspent taxpayer money, that's happened. He's the most sued sheriff in the country, over $65 million in legal settlements. We're not stopping, brothers and sisters. We're just beginning. And we're not tired. We're not doing it. We're excited about this year. We're getting people fired up as we move forward to make change happen in Arizona. But I guess the last thing to say, in more short time, is that nothing of this happens without a fight. We have to embrace that word fight. What does that mean? Define what it takes. It's about having conversations. It's about meeting people and getting them excited, agitating them into take some action. It's not just the email. It's about showing up. It's about getting people. It's about translating our social relationships into public actors, into public action. And now I'm sorry, it's about us being organizers, right? Understand that this is fundamentally about power. And if we're not going to take action to create it, then we got to accept what we're going to have. And I'll close with this quote from Dr. King, because it always inspires me, right? When I think about what he used to say and what his life was about. He used to talk about progress, right? He used to say, true progress does not roll in on the wheels of inevitability. Right? It doesn't just happen with the mere passage of time from 1 week, 1 month, or 1 year to the next, from 1 decade to the next. Just like you can go forward, you can go backward. So it's about us understanding that true progress, if we believe it in our hearts and minds, we have to really fight for it every day. And so we pledge to you in Arizona, we're going to keep up this fight. And I won't be surprised in a few weeks you might hear something going on in Arizona, another fight, because we are not done, and we're going to keep fighting forward. So we ask that you watch what we're doing, you march with us, you work with us, you take action with us, and we make this thing happen and make change happen together in Arizona and all across the country. Thank you.